Mahavira, also known as Vardhamāna, was the 24th and last Jain Tirthankara. Mahavira was born into a royal family in what is now Bihar, India, in 599 BC. At the age of 30, he left his home in pursuit of spiritual awakening, and abandoned worldly things, including his clothes, and became a monk. For the next 12.5 years, Mahavira practiced intense meditation and severe penance, after which he became kevalī. For the next 30 years, he traveled throughout South Asia to teach Jain philosophy. Mahavira taught that the observance of the vows ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya and aparigraha is necessary to elevate the quality of life. He gave the principle of anekantavada, syadavada and nyadavada. The teachings of Mahavira were compiled by Gautama Swami and were called Jain Agamas. Most of these agamas are not available today. Jains believe Mahavira attained moksha at the age of 72. Biography. In Jainism, a Tirthankara signifies the founder of a tirtha, which means a fordable passage across the sea of interminable births and deaths. According to the Jain texts, 24 Tirthankaras grace each half of the cosmic time cycle. Mahavira was the last Tirthankara of Avasarpani, Samantabhadra, an illustrious Digambara monk, who lived in the 2nd century AD, called the Tirtha of Mahavira by the name Dayodaya. Mahavira is often called the founder of Jainism, but this was not the case because the Jain tradition recognizes his predecessors and he is considered the 24th Tirthankara. In addition to that, Parshvanatha was a historical figure. Names. According to Jain texts, Mahavira's childhood name was Vardhamāna, because of the increased prosperity in the kingdom at the time of his birth. He was called Mahavira because of the acts of bravery he performed during his childhood. Mahavira was given the title Jina, which later became synonymous with Tirthankara. Buddhist texts refer to Mahavira as Nigana Jatapata. Nigana means without knot, tie, or string, and Jatapata refers to his clan of origin as Jnata. He is also known as Vardhamāna. Birth belonging to Kashyapa. Mahavira was born into the royal Kshatriya family of King Siddhartha and Queen Trishala of the Ikshvaku dynasty. On the 13th day of the rising moon of Chaitra in the Vardhamāna Samvit calendar in 599 BC. In the Gregorian calendar, this date falls in March or April and is celebrated as Mahavir Jayanti. Traditionally, Kundalpur in the ancient city of Kshatriya Kundalakwa is regarded as his birthplace. In the present-day Sikandra division of Jamui district, Bihar. According to Jainism, after his birth, anointment and abhisheka carried out by Indra on Mount Meru. Most modern historians agree he was born at Kundagrama, now Basakund in Muzaffarpur district in the state of Bihar, India. Jain traditions date Mahavira as living from 599 BC to 527 BC. Western historians date Mahavira as living from 480 BC to 408 BC. Some Western scholars suggest Mahavira died around 425 BC. Early life as the son of a king, Mahavira had all luxuries of life at his disposal. According to the 2nd chapter of the Vardhamāna text Akaranga Sutra, both his parents were followers of Parshvanatha and lay devotees of Jain ascetics. Jain traditions do not agree about his marital state. According to the Digambara tradition, Mahavira's parents wanted him to marry Yashoda, but Mahavira refused to marry. According to the Vardhamāna tradition, he was married to Yashoda at a young age and had one daughter, Priyadarshana. Renunciation. At the age of 30, Mahavira abandoned the comforts of royal life and left his home and family to live an ascetic life in the pursuit of spiritual awakening. He underwent severe penances, meditated under the Ashoka tree and discarded his clothes. There is a graphic description of his hardships and humiliation in the Akaranga Sutra. According to Kalpa Sutra, Mahavira spent 42 monsoons of his ascetic life at Astakagrama, Champapuri, Pustishampa, Vaishali, Vanajagrama, Nalanda, Mibala, Badrika, Alabikar, Panatabum, Sravasta and Pawepuri. Omniscience. After 12 years of rigorous penance, at the age of 43, Mahavira achieved the state of kevalī jnana under a sala tree according to traditional accounts. The details of this event are mentioned in Jain texts like Uttapurana and Harivamsa Purana. The Akaranga Sutra describes Mahavira as all-seeing. The Sutrakritanga elaborates the concept as all-knowing and provides details of other qualities of Mahavira. Jains believe that Mahavira had the most auspicious body and was free from 18 imperfections when he attained omniscience. For 30 years after gaining omniscience, Mahavira traveled throughout in India to teach his philosophy. According to the Jain tradition, Mahavira had 14,000 muni, 36,000 ayika, 159,000 sravakas and 318,000 sravikas as his followers. Some of the royal followers included King Srinika of Magadha, Kunaka of Anga and Chetakar of Vidya. Moksha. Jains believe Mahavira attained moksha at the age of 72 and his soul is now resting in Siddhashila. According to Jain texts, Mahavira attained nirvana at the town of Pawepuri. On the same day, his chief disciple Gautama Swami attained omniscience. According to the genus Yanas Mahapurana, after the nirvana of Tirthankaras, heavenly beings perform the funeral rites. According to the Pravachanasara, only the nails and hair of Tirthankaras are left behind. The rest of the body is dissolved in the air like camphor. Today, a Jain temple called Jal Mandir stands at the place where Mahavira is believed to have attained moksha. Previous births. Mahavira's previous births are discussed in Jain texts such as the Mahapurana and Trishashti Shalakapurusha Charitra. While a soul undergoes countless reincarnations in the transmigratory cycle of samsara, the births of a Tirthankara are reckoned from the time he determined the causes of karma and developed the Ratnatraya. Jain texts discuss 26 births of Mahavira before his incarnation as a Tirthankara. As per the texts, Mahavira was born as Marichi, the son of Bharata Chakravartin, in one of his previous births. Teachings. Jain Agamas. Mahavira's teachings were compiled by his Ganadhara Gautama Swami. The sacred canonical scriptures had 12 parts. According to VJK. Jain, these scriptures contained the most comprehensive and accurate description of every branch of learning that one needs to know. The knowledge contained in these scriptures was transmitted orally by the teachers to the disciple saints. Quote, according to the Digambaras, Acharya Bhuttabali was the last ascetic who had partial knowledge of the original canon. Later, some learned acharyas started to restore, compile and write down the teachings of Lord Mahavira that were the subject matter of Agamas. Acharya Dharasena, in 1st century CE, guided two acharyas, Acharya Pushpadant and Acharya Bhuttabali, to write down these teachings. The two acharyas wrote on palm leaves, Sat Kandagama, among the oldest known Digambara Jaina texts. Jain Agamas prescribe 5 major vratas that both ascetics and householders have to follow. These ethical principles were preached by Mahavira. Ahimsa. Mahavira taught that every living being has sanctity and dignity of its own and it should be respected just as one expects one's own sanctity and dignity to be respected. Ahimsa is formalized into Jain doctrine as the first and foremost vow. According to the Jain text, Tattvartha Sutra, the severance of vitality is out of passion is injury. statute not to lie or speak what is not commendable. According to the Jain texts of Siddhi, that which causes pain and suffering to the living is not commendable, whether it refers to actual facts or not. Asteya, which states one should not take anything if not properly given. Brahmacharya, which stresses steady but determined restraint over yearning for sensual pleasures. Aparigraha, non-attachment to both inner possessions and external possessions like property. Mahavira's philosophy has 8 cardinal, 3 metaphysical, and 5 ethical principles. The objective is to elevate the quality of life. Mahavira said an individual or society should exercise self-restraint to achieve social peace, security and an enlightened society. Ahimsa. Mahavira preached that ahimsa is the supreme ethical and moral virtue. Mahavira taught that no one likes pain and therefore non-injury must cover all living beings. According to Mahatma Gandhi, no religion in the world has explained the principle of ahimsa so deeply and systematically as is discussed with its applicability in every human life in Jainism. As and when the benevolent principle of ahimsa or non-violence will be ascribed for practice by the people of the world to achieve their end of life, in this world and beyond, Jainism is sure to have the uppermost status and Lord Mahavira is sure to be respected as the greatest authority on ahimsa. Anekantavada. Another fundamental teaching of Mahavira was Anekantavada. Influence. Mahavira's teachings influence many personalities. Rabindranath Tagore wrote, Mahavira proclaimed in India the message of salvation, that religion is a reality and not a mere social convention, that salvation comes from taking refuge in the true religion and not from observing the external ceremonies of the community, that religion cannot regard any barriers between man and man as an eternal variety. Wondrous to say, this teaching rapidly overtopped the barriers of the race-abiding instinct and conquered the whole county. A major event is associated with the 2500th anniversary of the Nirvana of Mahavira in 1974. According to Padmanabh Jaina, probably few people in the West are aware that during this anniversary year, for the first time in the long history, the mendicants of the Vitambara, Digambara and Stanakavasia sects assembled on the same platform, agreed upon a common flag and emblem, and resolved to bring about the unity of the community. For the duration of the year, 4 Dharmakakras, a wheel mounted on a chariot as an ancient symbol of the Samavasarana of Tirthankara Mahavira, traversed to all the major cities of India, winning legal sanctions from various state governments against the slaughter of animals for sacrifice or other religious purposes, a campaign which has been a major preoccupation of the Jainis throughout the history. In popular culture, Mahavira, the hero of non-violence, is an illustrated children's story based upon the life of Mahavira. Iconography. Mahavira is usually depicted in a sitting or standing meditative posture with the symbol of a lion beneath him. Every Tirthankara has a distinguishing emblem that allows worshippers to distinguish similar-looking idols of the Tirthankaras. The lion emblem of Mahavira is usually carved below the legs of the Tirthankara. Like all Tirthankaras, Mahavira is depicted with Srivatsa and downcast eyes. Images.